If you remember David Steele and the nonsense of go back home and get ready for government and the hubris of that moment, for Farage's posturing at the moment, and Richard Tice, is it Richard Tice? Suggesting that or hinting that he's on the way to occupy number 11 as the next Chancellor of the Exchequer. This is hubris equipped with curtains and catastrophic fiscal illiteracy. For Nigel Farage, our very own pub oracle in chief, to stop merely railing from the sidelines and now start measuring the Downing Street windows for Damask. 4 years from a general election, and the man's already selecting upholstery. Richard Tice, naturally rehearsing for his role as a chancellor, less Chancellor of Exchequer and more a chancer of the ridiculous. Farage has declared with the certainty of a tele-evangelist predicting the rapture that he will tear up Sir Keir Starmer's forthcoming EU reset deal. He calls it an abject surrender and insists he alone can save Brexit, a phrase so dripping with melodrama it might be confused with the tagline of a wartime epic. This reset deal, which includes pragmatic concessions on youth mobility, veterinary checks, defence coordination, is branded by Farage as a slippery slope to rejoining. In his response, scrap it. Declare via parliamentary fiat that international treaties no longer apply, a kind of toddler Bismarck diplomacy. If I don't like the toy, I smash it, and I'm going to hold my breath until you let me smash it. The policies. Let's speak of the numbers, not the vibes. According to his self-penned financial fiscal fantasia, Farage, all those Fs, I think you can think of a few more, Farage intends to raise the income tax threshold to £20,000. That's a cost of £41 billion. Extend higher rate relief. That's a cost of £18 billion. Abolish inheritance tax under £2 million. That's £9 billion. Reintroduce the winter fuel allowance for all. That's £1.3 billion. Toss additional billions at farmers while forcing supermarkets to pay more, an act of economic coercion so fanciful it belongs in Soviet folklore. Add these together and we're nudging £76 billion in giveaways with another £36 billion from halving corporation tax. That's £112 billion in foregone revenue. That isn't budgeting. That's budgetary arson. And his plan is not merely reminiscent of Liz Truss. It is Trussonomics on amphetamines, spliced with Baz Luhrmann's remake of The Thick of It. Reform UK is not really a party, it's an ego with a logo. Rupert Lowe was right, it's a cult. And Tice has become the Igor to Farage's Dr. Frankenstein. Sarah Pochin, Lee Anderson and others shuffle behind him like the cast of a low-rent remake of Dad's Army, chanting slogans about sovereignty while failing to produce a single spreadsheet that balances. The lesson from history, David Steele's 1981 rallying cry, go back to your constituencies and prepare for government. In Reform's case, it might be better phrased, go back to your WhatsApp groups and prepare for reality. But if Farage genuinely looked like he might win power, sterling would plummet faster than a Wetherspoon's stock price during dry January. Gilt yields would spike, pensions would tremble, and even Truss might look comparatively prudent. His economic blueprint is not merely unsound, it is suicidal. The Economist has crunched the numbers and concluded that Farage would leave a £100 billion black hole. That's not levelling up, it's levelling down into fiscal sinkhole. So let's be entertained by the performance, the talk of curtains, the promises of border controls enforced by vibes, and the dream of a new empire built on buy-value mollusks and antique nationalism. But let's also be vigilant. And let's be prudent, for when populism dresses up as policy and grievance disguises itself as governance, disaster is never far behind. And if Nigel ever does enter number 10, the only curtains that matter won't be the ones he orders. It will be the ones falling on Britain's credibility.